Hello, everybody. I would like to ask Asma to interpret me sentence by sentence, yeah?
Okay, dear. نرحب بكم في المؤتمر التطوعي الشامل للمدارس المصرية.
Welcome to the School of Inclusive Volunteering.
نرحب بكم في المؤتمر التطوعي الشامل للمدارس المصرية.
My name is Oleg Kolpashchikov.
أنا أوليغ.
And I'm the head of the White Cane NGO from Russia.
وأنا رئيس المؤتمر الكان الأبيض من روسيا.
I'm really thankful for all of you that you attended our webinars.
أنا سعيد جدا بمشاركتكم في المؤتمر التطوعي الشامل.
On which we will speak about inclusive volunteering.
وسنقوم بالتحدث عن التطوع في المؤتمر.
We recognize volunteering as a searching of your best project.
وسنقوم بالبحث عن المشاريع التي تظهر قدراتكم ومواهبكم.
The project which allows you to fulfill all your talents and abilities, to develop and fulfill your talents and abilities.
وهذا المؤتمر سيوفر لكل فرد فرصة لإظهار مواهبه وقدراته.
And we recognize volunteering as helping other people.
ونحن نتطوع لمساعدة الآخرين.
And when we are doing it for free.
ونحن نفعله تطوعاً بدون أجر.
And speaking about the inclusion, inclusion is a collaboration between different social groups.
ونتمنى أن يتم التعاون بالمجتمعات المختلفة، المجتمعات الاجتماعية المختلفة.
People with disabilities, different minorities.
للناس الغير قادرون ولهم ظروف خاصة.
Professionals, scientists, different social groups.
قادرون بقدرات، أصحاب قدرات خاصة والعلماء ومجتمعات مختلفة، تجمعات مختلفة.
And we will speak about the inclusive volunteering that brings you from the simple projects to big projects and professions.
ونتحدث لكم حتى نتحول من إظهار الأفكار إلى مشاريع واقعية.
It will be 4 webinars with the different speakers.
سيتحدث في هذا الويبينار 4 مختلفين.
And competition of the projects.
وأيضا هناك مسابقة للعمل.
That our learners of the school will prepare.
للمدارس لتحضيرها وتجهيزها.
And in the final of the project in September, if it will be okay with transport, the winners will take part in the Congress for people with disabilities.
والفائز في هذا المشروع سيقوم تكريمه في المؤتمر في سبتمبر وسيذهب إلى الكونغرس في روسيا.
I will introduce myself in the inclusive way.
سأقوم بتقديم نفسي.
For the people who cannot see.
للناس الذين لا يستطيعون رؤيتي.
I'm a big man with a beard.
أنا رجل بالغ كبير بذقن.
With 2 different eyes.
وأملك عينين مختلفتين.
Sometimes I'm smiling.
دائما أستطيع الابتسام.
And behind me is the picture with the logo of our project, School of Inclusive Volunteering.
وخلفي اللوجو المخصص لمؤتمرنا الحبيب.
I'm sitting in my home in Yekaterinburg in Russia.
وأنا أجلس في غرفتي في روسيا.
And I want to ask all the participants, when you start your speeches or answers, please introduce yourself.
وأتمنى أن كل المشاركين عندما يبدأون بالتحدث أن يقومون بتقديم أنفسهم لنا.
And do it also like you do it for the blind people. Describe yourself.
وإذا سمحتم أن توصفوا أنفسكم حتى يستطيع أصدقائنا الذين لا يستطيعون الرؤية أن يتعرفوا ويرون بقلبهم.
And write please information about you in chat of our conference.
ونتمنى أن تكتبوا معلومات عن أنفسكم في الشات المخصص بالمؤتمر.
In order for people with hearing impairment can read about you.
Again, Oleg, can you please repeat?
And in order to deaf people can read about you, people with hearing impairment.
حتى يستطيع الأشخاص الذين ليس لديهم قدرة على السماع أن يقرؤون ما كتبتم عن أنفسكم. وهنا سنحقق التكامل. سيسمع من لا يستطيع الرؤية وسيرى من لا يستطيع السماع.
I'm personally and the organizers of this school are very thankful for all the partners, for all the organizers.
وأنا أشكركم من كل قلبي كمنظم للمؤتمر. أشكر كل المتحدثين وكل المشاركين في هذا المؤتمر.
And I want to introduce Ivan Biryukov. He is the coordinator of the school, and he will tell about the program of webinars, about partners, all the partners, and schedule.
وسأقوم بتقديم إيفان وهو المنظم الفعلي للمؤتمر. سيوضح لكم كثيرا عن المشروع وعن المؤتمرات وعن المتحدثين.
Hello, Salam alaikum. My name is Ivan Biryukov. I'm a coordinator of the school.
أهلا بكم. أنا إيفان. أنا منظم المؤتمر وأنا المنظم المدرسة.
I want to provide detailed information about future events.
وسأقدم لكم مجموعة من المعلومات عن أحداث المؤتمر المستقبلية.
We are planning to host 4 online webinars with different topics.
ونخطط أن نقدم 4 من الويبينارات بموضوعات مختلفة.
And another events such as
وسنقوم أيضا بتجمعات ومؤتمرات أخرى مثل
Sales of the Spirit project in October of 2020.
Again, Ivan.
Sales of the Spirit in Egypt. It's our project.
مشروع الإبحار السنوي.
Conference about inclusive tourism in October.
ومؤتمر السياحة الرياضية في أكتوبر.
Scientific practical conference about extrability as a phenomenal inclusive culture in December of 2020.
وأيضا مؤتمر التبادل السياحي في سبتمبر.
And International Inclusive Expo in 2023.
والمؤتمر العالمي في 2023.
Yeah, also we are doing a map of members of School of Inclusive Volunteering. Everyone who want to join us can send geolocation and photo, and I will add it to the map.
وأيضا نقوم بتصميم خريطة تحتوي على مواقع جميع المشاركين. على من يحب المشاركة أن يرسل لنا مكانه وصورته حتى نضعه على الخريطة.
I can show you now it's a map in our screen.
وأنا أريكم الآن الخريطة على السكرين.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, and I want to tell about our partners.
وأريد أن أخبركم عن مشاركينا.
The School of Inclusive Volunteering is supported by Presidential Grants Fund.
والمؤتمر يتم دعمه من المنح الرئاسية، من منظمة المنح الرئاسية.
Another partners are Rotary Club of Alexandria Cosmopolitan.
المشارك الثاني مؤتمر الروتري كوزموبوليتان وهو مقام في الإسكندرية.
As a village of hope for development and rehabilitation of people with intellectual disabilities.
وقرية الأمل لمتحدي الإعاقة.
Russian Center for Science and Culture Alexandria.
مركز الروسي للعلوم والثقافة في الإسكندرية.
State Nuclear Power Corporation Rosatom.
State
Rosatom Corporation.
Rosatom, yes, Rosatom Corporation.
Rosatom Corporation.
Ural State Pedagogical University.
وجامعة أورال ستيت.
Institute for Management Design and Competitive Strategies.
منظمة الإدارة والتصميم للcompetitive strategies.
And Project Globe for All, it's international informational project on affordable tourism and travel.
وجلوبال فور اول العالمي للجميع وهو مؤتمر أنا آسفة وهي منظمة للمعلومات والمشروعات للسياحة والسفر بدون عوائق أو حدود.
Okay, thank you for your attention.
وشكرا لاهتمامكم.
Thank you, Ivan. And please send to Ivan's WhatsApp your geoposition and geopoint, geographical point, and your pictures. We want to have all of us on the map of inclusive volunteers.
شكرا إيفان ونتمنى أن تشاركنا برقمك التليفوني على الواتساب وصورتك وموقعك الجغرافي حتى نستطيع رؤية جميع المشاركين على خريطتنا المفضلة.
Every webinar we will have 3 main speakers.
كل مؤتمر سيمتلك 3 من المتحدثين الرئيسيين.
And we want to ask you to ask questions and to present yourself after each presentation of speakers.
ونتمنى أن تشاركوا في المحتوى بأسئلتكم ولكن اسبقوها بتعريفكم لأنفسكم بعد كل متحدث.
Also, we will share with you the manuals of our webinar with materials.
وسنشارككم المواد المقدمة من المتحدثين لهذا المؤتمر.
And conditions about the regulation about the project competition.
وسنوافيكم بشروط الاشتراك في المسابقة.
Please don't hesitate to be proactive.
أرجوكم لا تتهاونوا في الاشتراك معنا.
Today there are 3 speakers in our webinar. The first will be my presentation.
اليوم سيكون هناك 3 من المتحدثين. الأول أنا.
The next will be our friend from Cairo, the champion in swimming, Eslam Abuali.
والثاني سيكون Oleg, could you please repeat?
And the second speaker will be Eslam Abuali, the champion, the swimming champion.
والمتحدث الثاني سيكون إسلام أبو علي.
Our friend from Cairo.
صديقنا من القاهرة.
And the third speaker will be Patrick Modave from Belgium.
والمتحدث الثالث سيكون باتريك. من بلجيكا.
Okay. And be ready to answer the question and to present yourself.
Again, Oleg.
Be ready, please, to ask the questions and to present yourself.
لو سمحتم اجهزوا لتجهيز أسئلتكم بعد المتحدثين وتقديم أنفسكم قبلها. نتمنى لكم مؤتمر سعيد.
Okay, I will start in my presentation. I'm starting my presentation with reminding about the inclusive volunteering.
وسأبدأ الآن عرضي التنفيذي لمؤتمر التطوع الشامل.
Volunteering when we are doing something for helping other people for free.
والتطوع هو أن نقوم بعمل أشياء للآخرين بدون مقابل.
But it's not the main idea of volunteering.
ولكنه ليس الفكرة الأساسية للتطوع.
Through the volunteering, you can find your best project in your life.
وفي مؤتمرنا الحالي سنساعدكم لإيجاد المشروع التطوعي الأمثل لحياتكم.
And the project where you can develop and realize your talents and abilities.
والمشروع الذي يساعدكم لإظهار مواهبكم وقدراتكم.
Through volunteering, you can try different things, different doings.
ومن خلال التطوع تستطيعون تجربة أشياء مختلفة في كل الحياة.
And the idea that some of these doings could become for you bigger project or profession.
والفكرة أنكم تستطيعون إظهار هذه المشاريع الصغيرة للعالم كله.
On these webinars, we gathered the speakers who did this way.
وفي هذا المؤتمر حرصنا على أن نجمع المتحدثين الذين قاموا بإظهار مشاريعهم الصغيرة للعالم حتى أصبحت في النور.
All the speakers started with small volunteer doings, projects, and then developed to the big organization and projects.
كل متحدثيننا بدأوا مشاريعهم بطريقة صغيرة حتى أصبحت وتم دعمها من مشاريع عالمية ومنظمات عالمية.
This school we will speak more about volunteering in tourism and sport.
وتخصصت مدرستنا في السياحة الرياضية.
And also we will present some new kind of volunteer project in mixed that made in mixed format.
Again, Oleg.
And this school we will present the new project that made in mixed format. I mean offline plus online.
ومدرستنا ستقوم بعمل مشروع مختلط اونلاين واوفلاين عبر الانترنت وايضا بدون انترنت.
Personally, I started the White Cane organization in 2010.
ولقد بدأت مشروعي الخاص White Can في سنة 2010.
I was asked by my friends to help them to promote some software for blind people.
لأني قام بعض أصدقائي بسؤالي لتجهيز مشروع للمكفوفين.
And I replied, let's help, and we did the special plan in the mobile phone corporation, special plan for blind people.
وقمت بتجهيز مشروع على الموبايل للمكفوفين حتى يستطيعوا استخدام الموبايل.
It was interesting that we called this mobile plan White Cane.
وكان ممتع جدا أننا قمنا بتسمية هذا المشروع ب White Can.
And we started to share with people in our region, with the blind people, with this mobile plan, special mobile plan with software for blind people.
وقمنا بتسطيب وعمل هذا المشروع للمكفوفين على الموبايل.
And we held different webinars in which we told the stories about what we did, what we are working with, what our professions.
وقمنا باستضافة مجموعة من المؤتمرات لشرح ما قمنا بعمله للمكفوفين.
And once during this webinar, a lady journalist came to me and asked me, can you show me please how blind people are walking, how they eating, how they doing the simple things.
وفي خلال إحدى المؤتمرات قامت امرأة صحفية وسألتني حتى أريها كيف يعمل هذا التطبيق على الموبايل، كيف يستطيع المكفوفين استخدامه.
And I said, okay, bring please the blindfolder to close your eyes and we will try to do simple things.
وقلت لها طبعا احضري كتاب المكفوفين وسنريك كيف تستطيعين استخدام هذا التطبيق.
I want to ask Anna to show the pictures of this event. Yeah.
لو سمحتي أنا اظهري صورة هذا المؤتمر.
It was about 10 years ago.
وهذا كان منذ 10 أعوام سابقا.
And we went outside with this lady journalist. She was grabbing my shoulder, holding by my shoulder.
وهذه الصحفية كنت أساعدها بكتفي.
And we went to, it was a small city. We went to the shop. We found the shop.
ووجدنا المحل.
Bought some cucumbers, some other meal.
واشترينا خيار ومجموعة من الوجبات.
When we were walking on the street, I was guiding her. I'm blind, and she was in the blindfold.
وكنت أستطيع إرشادها لأنها كانت تمثل أنها مكفوفة ولا تستطيع الرؤية.
She was very scared.
كانت خائفة جدا.
She was shaking.
Again, Oleg?
She was shaking.
I can't hear you.
Do you hear me?
Could you say it again?
She was shaking. Shake.
بتترعش يا أسف.
أما مش سامعاه. I can't hear him.
بتترعش. كانت بتترعش.
كانت بتترعش. كانت ترتعش. خائفة وترتعش. Yes, I hear you now, Oleg.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. And when we went out of the shop, when we went out with this lady from the shop, I took the blindfolder off from her.
وعندما خرجنا من المحل أخذته ورفعت الحزام من على عينيها.
And what did happen in that moment? I saw that she started to cry.
ووجدتها بدأت البكاء.
All her body was moving with the big waves.
وكانت ترتعش بشدة.
But it were tears of happiness.
ولكنها كانت دموع الفرح.
She really couldn't control herself.
ولم تستطع التحكم في نفسها وأن توقف نفسها عن البكاء.
And she was happy. And after this experiment, she called me for half a year.
وبعد هذه التجربة كانت سعيدة جدا وحدثتني منذ نصف سنة.
Telling the stories what new experiments she's doing by herself with the blindfolded eyes.
لأنها بدأت أن تستخدم هذه التجربة بنفسها مع المكفوفين.
And after this experiment, we started to think what was happened, why she was so happy and so creative afterwards.
وبعد هذه التجربة بدأت أفكر ما الذي جعلها مبتكرة وسعيدة.
And we decided, we found that people with disability, through the limitation, they've gotten additional abilities.
وقمنا بالتفكير أن الأشخاص ذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة يكونون محدودين القدرات.
We call it extra abilities.
ولكننا سميناهم أصحاب قدرات خاصة وفائقة.
And the people with disabilities, they are developing these extra abilities through the limitation and active social life.
ولكنهم يستطيعون استخدام وابتكار قدرات جديدة خلال تعاملاتهم الاجتماعية.
There is a very important two conditions. First is, I will repeat them. First is a limitation, physical limitation, and the second condition is active social life.
وذلك لاستخدام قدراتهم الخاصة والمحدودة وأيضا تفاعلهم في الحياة الاجتماعية.
For example, blind people are better in smelling, in touching, in sensing.
وعلى سبيل المثال المكفوفين يستطيعون الشم بطريقة أفضل والتلمس بطريقة أفضل.
Also, the blind people are very good in feel of trust.
وأيضا هم رائعون في الشعور بالثقة.
Blind people have a very good imagination.
ولديهم خيال واسع.
And also the blind people has a very good memory.
ولديهم أيضا ذاكرة قوية جدا.
People who are moving on wheelchairs, they can sit for a long time and they can work in the very special rhythm.
أيضا من يستخدمون الكرسي المتحرك يستطيعون الجلوس لفترات طويلة. وأيضا again Oleg they can sit for a long time and what?
They can sit for a long time and work, especially in front of computer, and they
وأيضا
can work,
يستطيعون العمل أمام الكمبيوتر لساعات طويلة.
And they have a very special rhythm of the work. Rhythm.
وأيضا لديهم قدرة فائقة للعمل.
Also, the people who are moving on wheelchair, they've got a very good logistic skills.
ولديهم أيضا قدرات سياحية رائعة.
People who have a hearing impairment, deaf people, they are very attentive by their eyesight. They are very attentive.
وأيضا الأشخاص الذين لا يستطيعون السماع لديهم قدرة عالية على الإبصار.
They see better.
ويرون أفضل منا.
Also, what is very important for us, the people who are speaking sign language, I'm showing my hands are moving. The people who are speaking sign language, they are very, very emotional.
وأيضا من يستخدمون لغة الإشارة يكونون حساسون للغاية.
They have such a competence, we call it emotional intelligence.
ولديهم ذكاء مشاعر وذكاء عاطفي.
And the people with mental, we don't call it mental disabilities, we call it mental variations.
وأيضا أصحاب قلة القدرات العقلية ولا نسميها بهذا الاسم.
They sometimes get in a bigger physical power.
لديهم طاقة جسمانية عالية.
Sometimes they are they've got a lot of empathy.
ولديهم تعاطف وحنان خاص.
Also, they can do a lot of work in a very calm way.
ويستطيعون العمل بطريقة هادئة.
And also, a lot of them are very motivated.
وأيضا محفزون إلى الطاقة الإيجابية.
Can we turn on the micro, people who are speaking?
والآن سنحول الميكروفون إلى.
Anna, can you help us?
Yes.
Maybe to mute the microphone of the people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. And
شكرا لكم جميعا.
And we found that the people with disabilities, they can impact with their extra abilities on other people.
والآن وبعد هذه الدراسة وجدنا أن أصحاب القدرات الخاصة لديهم قدرات فائقة في جميع الأعمال.
That was happened with this lady who was walking with me to the shop with the blindfolded eyes.
هذا ما حدث للمرأة التي قمت بتغمية عينيها. هذا ما شعرت به.
She felt the big sense of trust.
شعرت بالثقة العمياء.
That I'm training every day walking on the streets.
نعم Oleg again.
That I'm training walking every day on the streets. I'm training my feel of trust.
كنت أمرن ثقتي وأمشي في الشارع كل يوم.
And she felt her feel of trust through the collaboration with me, through the interaction with me.
وشعرت بعد التعاون معي شعرت بالثقة العمياء.
And it was really amazing. It happened in the half an hour.
وهذا الشعور حدث لها خلال نصف ساعة فقط.
Okay, somebody to Anna, can you help us with this microphone? Thank you. Okay, it's normal. Thank you. And we continued to make such a blindfold walking, blindfold exercises on different events that we were holding.
وقمنا بممارسة هذه التجربة في مؤتمرات مختلفة أخرى.
We did such exercises with blindfolded eyes on the big city holidays.
وقمنا بإغماء بعض حاضرين هذه المؤتمرات بتغمية عينيهم.
We are doing such an walking with the blindfolded eyes when we are making sales of the Spirit project, sailing project.
وسنقوم بإقامة هذه التجربة في مؤتمر الإبحار.
Last year, 2019, in the autumn, we did together with the Russian Culture Center and Rotary Club Days of Inclusion in Alexandria.
قمنا بتجربة هذه التجربة في مؤتمر الإبحار 2019 بالتعاون مع مؤتمر المؤتمر الثقافي الروسي والروتري الإسكندري.
And we did such a blindfold walking during these days of inclusion in Alexandria.
وقمنا بهذه التجربة في الإسكندرية. قمنا بتغمية عين بعض المشاركين.
And after this first experiment 10 years ago, a lot of blind people in Russia and some European countries, they started to do such an excursion for sighted people.
وبعد هذه التجربة استطاع العديد من في المدن المختلفة خاصة في أوروبا وروسيا تجربة هذه القيام بهذه التجربة.
And they started to organize it like on the one hand excursion, on the other hand like small training in building the trust.
وأيضا قاموا بتجربة الثقة العمياء في هذه المؤتمرات.
And some blind people made for themselves this like a profession.
وبعض المكفوفين استخدموا هذا كمجال لحياتهم.
And the next video I would like to show you is about this is advertising video of a young blind lady who
سأقوم بتوضيح فيديو يوضح تجربة امرأة كفيفة.
And this is like advertising video.
وهذا الفيديو الإعلاني.
In which she sells this like a service.
وقامت بأخذ هذا المشروع كعمل لها وتجربة خدمية للمكفوفين.
She's now making the blindfold excursions in the biggest cities of Russia, in Moscow and St. Petersburg.
وتقوم بهذا العمل في موسكو وسان بطرسبرغ.
And also she is making the special excursions with the blindfolded eyes on the fine art exhibitions.
وتقوم أيضا بهذه التجربة مع المكفوفين.
Okay, and let's watch the video. It's a short video, 3 minutes, and I would like to ask Asma to translate the subtitles. Subtitles are in English. Please translate it in Arabic.
Okay, Oleg.
Thank you very much, Asma.
You're welcome.
Всем привет. Меня зовут Евгения. Я гид. Я предлагаю прогулки с завязанными глазами по городу.
وأعمل كمرشد
للمكفوفين.
هذه البنت تجرب تجربة العصا البيضاء. وأنا أقوم بتغطية عينيهم. هل أنت مرتاح؟
Я ни в коем случае не хочу показать людям, как живут слепые, как живу я.
عليك تجربة شعور المكفوفين. في البداية عندما قمت بتغطية عيني أخذتني كمرشدة تقول له لا تخاف، لن تقع، استخدم العصا.
Давайте вашу руку. Это моя трость. Это край. То есть я вам показываю, что еще до края далеко. Для того, чтобы понять, как живут незрячие, нужно быть незрячим. Ориентироваться можно.
قم باللمس، ستستطيع أن تلمس الماء وستقوم تلمس الرصيف والشارع.
С Евгением было интересно гулять. Сначала чувствовалось его напряжение.
كنت سعيدة جدا وأنا أجرب هذه التجربة معه.
Но это нормально, так бывает всегда, потому что человека погрузили
كان
в
خائف.
совершенно неизведанное для него состояние. И для него каждый шаг как в пустоту, каждый шаг как в другой мир.
وكان يشعر كأنني أخذه إلى عالم آخر. كنت ممتن جدا وشاكر لأنها أعطتني طاقة سعيدة.
Очень хочется, чтобы люди прикасались к своим внутренним ресурсам, своему внутреннему доверию, своим внутренним ощущениям и начинали жить здесь, сейчас и изнутри себя.
كنت سعيدة جدا وأنا أساعده لتجربة هذه المشاعر وهو يعيش هذه اللحظة.
Okay, this is the good example when we started with the volunteer project 10 years ago and then transform it to the real profession.
هذه كانت لحظة سعيدة جدا عندما حولنا هذه التجربة وكانت تجربة تطوعية إلى مجال وكارير حياة.
And there are a lot of projects in inclusive volunteering where the people with disabilities are where the people without disabilities helping people with disabilities.
وهناك كثيرا من المشروعات والتجارب التي قام بها أصحاب القدرات العادية في مساعدة أصحاب القدرات الفائقة.
But inclusive volunteering is also when the people with disabilities can help the people without disabilities.
وأيضا يمكن أن نعكس التجربة، فأصحاب القدرات الفائقة يستطيعون كثيرا مساعدة أصحاب القدرات العادية.
And now I'm trying sharing with you this idea how people with disabilities could help people without disabilities by their extra abilities.
وأريد أن أشارككم هذه الفكرة ونستطيع مناقشتها معا. كيف يستطيع أصحاب القدرات الفائقة مساعدة أصحاب القدرات العادية؟
And then now I want to ask Anna to prepare one more short video about the next project.
لو سمحتي يا أنا الفيديو
مشروعنا
القادم.
We have a project Sales of the Spirit. It's a journey on the yacht, on the boat, in the inclusive team, people with disabilities and people without disabilities.
هناك مشروع سنقوم بعمله وتجهيزه للأشخاص الذين أصحاب قدرات فائقة لمساعدة أصحاب القدرات العادية.
And we're sailing from country to country, making humanitarian events everywhere.
ونقوم عن طريق مشروع الإبحار.
But during the coronavirus, all the international events stopped.
ولكن بعد جائحة الكورونا كل المشروعات العالمية توقفت.
And we started to think what to do.
وقمنا بالتفكير ونقوم بالتفكير ماذا علينا فعله.
We love sailing and we need sailing.
نحب الإبحار ونحتاج هذا الإبحار.
And we created the special project in mixed format, online plus offline.
لذلك قمنا باختراع هذا المشروع بفورمات مختلطة بين العمل خلال الأونلاين والكمبيوتر والعمل أوفلاين بدون هذا الإنترنت.
And some people who can sail, they went sailing on the boat.
ومن يستطيعون الإبحار يستطيعون أن يذهبوا للإبحار.
But most of us stayed at home and tried to interact with them through the Zoom, through the internet.
ولكن معظمنا فضلنا البقاء في المنزل بسبب الكورونا وتفاعلنا معهم خلال الإنترنت واجتماعات زوم.
That's why that's how we in one day appeared in 4 countries.
وهذا السبب الذي جعلنا نظهر في نفس الوقت وفي نفس اليوم نظهر في 4 بلاد مختلفة.
In one day we visited Russia,
روسيا،
Latvia,
نعم، لاتريا،
Uzbekistan,
باكستان، أوزبكستان،
and Armenia.
وأرمينيا.
4 countries in 2 hours.
4 بلدان في ساعتين.
And the people with disabilities who cannot come out of their houses, they got the opportunity to be on the boat, to tell the captain where to sail, to ask the questions for the people who are sailing.
وأصحاب القدرات الخاصة خرجوا من بيوتهم وحاذوا على فرصة أسئلة وركوب المراكب وأسئلة لمن يقومون بالإبحار.
And we will watch now the short part of this video, and I will
سنقوم برؤية هذا الفيديو.
And I would like to ask Asma to interpret the subtitles.
حاضر أوليغ. Okay.
Yes, this part from Latvia.
Мы сейчас расскажем про наш катамаран.
Катамаран, 2 понтона по бокам, площадка, где сидит народ с улыбками на лицах, приблизительно, ну, где-то, наверное, 5 на 5 метров, в центре, если можно так называть, пульт управления.
От яхты этот катамаран отличается.
Asma, I can do pause if it's.
I'm sorry. Can you? Yeah.
Okay.
Just do it again, Anna.
Okay. No problem.
No problem. Of course.
Мы сейчас расскажем про наш катамаран.
Катамаран, 2 понтона по бокам.
هما توأمان.
Площадка, где сидит народ с улыбками на лицах.
استطعنا أن نجعل الناس تبتسم.
приблизительно.
وقمنا بالإبحار.
Ну, наверное, 5 на 5 метров.
5 و5.
В центре, если можно так называть, пульт
قمنا بالإبحار في Central Park.
Катамаран отличает то, что он стабильный. Вот мы сейчас как бы двигаемся, и нас
هل هذا
вообще
أكثر
не шатает, минимально.
توازن من اليخت؟
Спасибо, коллега. То есть это реально очень большая палка, причем она
هي كبيرة جدا.
Снизу она более широкая, и кверху это все дело, конечно же, сужается.
Настя взялась рукой за
лира.
ممكن استخدام الناحيتين
Это такие, как
لأسباب للأمان.
по бокам катамарана, чтобы я отсюда не выпала. Ну вот там у меня вода. Покажи, вот там вода. Передо мной люк, его можно открыть, но мы этого делать не будем, и катапультироваться вниз в каюту. Да не, на самом деле это чтобы проветривать.
Okay, thank you very much,
ويساعدها أن
Anna.
تتحرك.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, and this lady was blind. Her name is
هذه المرأة
Anastasia.
مكفوفة. هذه المرأة كفيفة.
And the sailor is sighted person here. His name is Yanis.
والبحار اسمه يانس وهو يستطيع الرؤية.
And we expect that we will do with your dear friends some expeditions, some excursions from Egypt.
ونستطيع فعل هذه التجربة أيضا في مصر.
Okay, in the end of my presentation, I want to share with my inclusive volunteer life hack.
Again, Oleg.
In the end of my presentation, I want to share
في
with
نهاية
you
عرضي التقديمي
This my inclusive volunteer life hack. It means like secret.
اوكي استطيع تجربه اللايف هارت حياه القلب.
My secret of inclusive volunteer is I never refuse about refuse from the new proposals. Never refuse.
وسر حياتي هو انني لم ارفض ابدا اي عرض جديد واي تجربه جديده.
Only if the proposal is not ecologic, I can refuse. But other time, I cannot refuse from anything.
أنا لا أرفض تجربة أي شيء جديد يستطيع مساعدة الآخرين.
That is, and that's what I advise you, dear friends and colleagues.
وهذه نصيحتي لكم زملائي وأصدقائي.
Okay. Thank you, Asma, for interpreting.
You're always welcome.
Do we have Joylin online? No?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So,
Joylin, give me a break, dear. Please, I need it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Where
had a
have
problem
you been,
with my connection. I'm so sorry.
I want to ask people in our meeting, is it okay with such a translation, or we are to divide into groups by the language, or it's okay how it goes?
يسألكم أوليغ هل تريدون أن ننقسم إلى حجرتين للإنجليزية والعربية ولكن أم تحبون أن نستمر هكذا؟
I think that's okay.
Oleg, how you want the answer is chatting or by answering, or what kind of answer you prefer?
I prefer when you speak by voice.
I will speak, Oleg. I believe having the icon that the attendees can choose the language, and the translator is doing it concomitantly and while silencing the speaker, like the other time we did, Anna. This is much better, and there is
so we can divide now into groups.
I think it's better.
It is not groups; it is the same group, but we have the icon which allows the attendees to choose the language. And while choosing the language, they will choose the Arabic translator, and they can silence the speaker, so they don't hear a background noise from the speaker. I think this would be. Let us even try it in the second presentation if we can do this. Anna, it will be much better.
Yeah, okay.
Like the other time, Anna, it was amazing. It was very good, and this is what we did in the Rotary International Convention.
Okay.
Everybody was much happier this way instead of waiting and like this. Particularly if Jailen is a professional translator, it will do very well. Will go very well.
Okay, so before we will choose the language, please, maybe any question about my presentation. Any questions for me?
قبل أن تجاوبوا، هل لديكم أي أسئلة؟
Yes.
Any questions?
هل لدى أي أحد أي أسئلة؟
Okay, fine.
One who raised her hand, but there is one who raised her hand, but she's muted.
She's muted. Anna, please.
Anna, have you noticed?
Anna, please unmute the person who raised the hand.
قد رفعت إحداهم أيديها لتسأل سؤال ولكن المايك الخاص بها مقفل.
No, they are talking to me, not to the group.
Okay. Is the question?
هل هناك أي أسئلة؟ هل تريدون أن تسألوا أي شيء؟
It looks like no question.
No question. Okay.
يبدو أنه ليس هناك أي أسئلة.
We've got the school of inclusive volunteering. Everybody of us, we are training the new inclusive projects.
جمعناكم اليوم في البرامج التطوعية.
And when we failed, it's okay.
ونشعر أنه سيكون مشروعا جيدا.
Okay, the next speaker will be Eslam Abuali.
المتحدث التالي سيكون إسلام أبو علي.
And before this, let's organize the other type of translation.
وقبل ذلك سنرتب جميع أنواع الترجمة.
Now we will make the two translators translating two ways.
الآن سنجعل المترجمتين أن تترجم من الإنجليزية العربية والعكس.
Julian will translate from English to Arabic.
سأقوم بالترجمة من الإنجليزية العربية.
Asma, if it will be necessary, will translate back other direction.
وستقوم أسماء إذا تطلب الأمر بالترجمة من العربية إلى الإنجليزية.
And now Anna will prepare the translation mode.
والآن ستقوم أنا بتحضير مود الترجمة.
And all of us will first of all press the button translation.
وسنقوم جميعنا بالضغط على زر الترجمة.
And then press choose the language.
وسنختار اللغة.
Those who speaks English choose English language.
لمن يتكلمون الإنجليزية سيختارون اللغة الإنجليزية.
And sorry for the Zoom platforms, those who speak Arabic language, please choose Portuguese language.
وأنا أسف لمستخدمي زوم لأنه لا يوجد اللغة العربية فإنهم سيختارون اللغة البرتغالية.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's really funny because we didn't find in all the applications, all the instructions, how to put the Arabic language. It's just Portuguese. Yeah.
نعم إنه شيء مضحك لأننا لم نجد في جميع التطبيقات.
Sorry for this. Yeah.
فأنا أسف لذلك.
Okay. Now all of us are ready. If you
إذا كنتم جميعا جاهزين.
If you will have problems with interpreting, you don't hear interpreter and translation, please write it down to our Zoom chat, and we will come back, or we will help you to solve the problem with translation. Okay?
إذا كنتم تواجهون مشكلة في سماع الترجمة أو في الترجمة فيمكنكم أن تكتبوا في المكان.
Please don't hesitate. Say I've got the problem. Yeah, let's do.
ولا تترددوا في قول أنكم تواجهون أي مشكلة.
Okay, let's now organize the translation.
Yes, and request for speakers, please to speak slower for translation.
Okay, ونطلب من المتحدثين.
Dear Islam and Patrick, be very polite for our interpreters. Be very polite and make the pause after each sentence.
نرجو من إسلام وباتريك أن يتكلموا ببطء حتى يتمكن المترجمين من ترجمة كل جملة وأن يتوقفوا من الكلام عن كل جملة.
Great, we start our two groups.
نبدأ الآن.
Okay, let's divide. Let's choose the language. Yeah.
Mr. Oleg, you're in English group? No. Who is in this group?
I'm here.
Great.
Oleg.
I am in the English group.
Patrick, can you hear me? Great.
Yes.
Super.
I am in English group. Yes,
okay. Eslam, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Great. Super.
Here
Saad?
also. I'm here. I'm here also.
Saad? Great.
Excuse me, the English is the speaker. The English is the speaker. We don't need to translate English. The English is the speaker. The translator will be using Portuguese for anybody who wants to read Arabic. And so we only need one translator at the same time in a given presentation, and the one who will choose Portuguese to hear Arabic should mute also the original audio, so that by this means he will be very comfortable hearing only the translator. So the speaker is the original, so only as if we only need the Arabic translation. Otherwise, we're fine. And we all want to hear the speaker. If Islam is speaking Arabic, is another thing. Are you speaking Arabic or English, Islam?
I'm quite flexible. I'm ready to talk in English.
So speak in English, and the translator will translate in Arabic, so that this is where all the speakers speak English. Translators translate in Arabic is only one language, so that we don't, and they have the right to mute the original audio so that they don't have a background noise.
Yeah, so why we tried this. We divide it into groups, because if the people will speak Arabic language, if we will be in the common hall, not in the English hall, we will not hear the translation backwards.
Yeah.
We will not. So that's why we have two interpreters. One will translate from English to Arabic, and second will translate from Arabic to English.
Oleg, believe me, you don't need I need to hear the voice of the presenter. I don't need the translator for the English. Let us hear the presenter. It works fine this way. And only those who want Arabic, they will hear the Arabic, and they can shut down the speaker completely.
But we cannot. If we have one translator, we cannot hear them.
Okay. No, it will work. So, let us try. Let us start. Let us start. Let us start. It works very well. I know that. I tried it a lot of times.
Okay. So now, do we have some people in Arabic group, Anna?
What is should do?
Do we have some people in a group in Arabic group?
I don't know. All deaf, they talk in Arabic. It will be easy for me to hear Arabic and then to translate.
Okay, so it's easy for you to translate from Arabic to deaf people, yeah?
Yeah.
It's clear, yeah. Okay, so we can start the presentation, and then we'll look how it works, okay? Islam.
Okay. Shall I share my presentation?
Yeah. 30, you have 30 minutes. I will tell you about when it will be 25 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eslam Abuali. I'm 32 years old. After my graduation directly, I started my professional career in HR for almost 10 years. When it comes to sports, I've been sporty all my life. I used to do different kinds of sports.
Sorry, Islam.
Yep.
Very sorry. Beat slowly and pauses between sentences, yeah, for the interpreter, okay?
I forgot that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're training. All of us, we are training, yeah.
Yeah. I've been sporty since a very young age, playing every kind of sport you may think of, from soccer, volleyball, basketball, or rowing, you name it, I played. And as you can see from that cheesy look on my face, I was deeply in love in my girlfriend, and we had plans to get married. And when it comes to adventures, I had a brilliant hiking experience in Sinai, in St. Catherine. Life could not get any better, alhamdulillah, thank God. And all of a sudden, an unpredictable challenge has popped up while we were on our way back from Sinai, St. Catherine. I've learned later that the car rolled over and I was ejected out of the car. I was flown back to Cairo and I was rushed to emergency surgery. I opened my eyes. I saw blood everywhere. Kept getting in and out of consciousness. I woke up not knowing where I am or what happened. And I opened my eyes again. A few days or maybe hours later, and the doctor told me that Islam, you are in good shape and you will be back to normal, as good as new, in under a few months.
Could you speak a bit louder?
Louder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Shukran.
Okay. So, as you can see, one simple look to the car, or one look at my MRIs and X-rays, and you would instantly know that my doctor was not telling me the truth. Until one day, they got me a Canadian doctor, revealed the truth to me, and he said in my face, Islam, you'll never walk again. And that's final. I spent in the rehab center a full year under those misled hopes. And I'm going to share with you some of the challenging situations I've been through during that year. One day, a friend of mine was getting married and she was insisting to attend her wedding. And honestly speaking, I was not feeling comfortable to attend such occasions with my wheelchair. But at the end of the day, I dressed up and I went there. And when I was there, I met one of our colleagues at work. And while he was introducing me to his wife, he said, that's Islam, our colleague at work, but he is unprivileged. He's underprivileged. He got special abilities. In Arabic, ظروفه صعبة. I know with no bad intentions at all, but all of a sudden I felt that I am disabled, limited, not as blessed as all of you. Maybe a few weeks or months later, an old lady out of the blue came to me and said, why are you using that chair? You're still young for this. As if it's my choice. As if I made a choice to be on that wheelchair. When my mother-in-law to be realized that I'm not going to walk again, I've received a call from her and she said, Islam, it's your life, it's your destiny, it's your challenge. And my daughter has nothing to do with all of that. So go and face it yourself. It just hit me like a bullet in my chest. A couple of months later, I decided to visit a friend of mine while his situation was harsher than mine. He got paralyzed neck down with zero control on his hands. And when he saw me, he said, Islam, you know what? If I am as blessed as you with full control on my hands, I would use them to commit a suicide. Can you imagine what this means to me? Can you imagine that the rehab center that I spent a year I was in that wasn't facilitated or designed to accommodate people in my case, despite the fact it's a rehab center. Can you imagine that I was depending on someone in every single thing that I do on every day? All those words kept haunting me day in, day out. All of a sudden, I felt that I'm disabled, I'm limited, I'm not part of our society, I'm labeled, I'm excluded from this society, until it hit me. All those words are absolutely right, but if and only if I see it from the right perspective. When the old lady told me that you are too young for that chair, that's right. Which means that it's my life. I'm still too young, and my life is still ahead of me. All of it. And when my mother-in-law told me that it's your life, it's your problem, it's your challenge, she was totally right. And thank you very much for my mother-in-law for reminding me with that blessings that it's my responsibility, it's my choices, which means that it's my choice to have a beautiful and successful life. And it's my responsibility to have a successful life. So I made a conscious decision that from now on, I would use all my abilities, special abilities, call it even better. I would use all my special abilities to be completely independent. I would not depend on anybody ever again. Because I do believe that I am as blessed as you. One day I asked myself, Islam, is there anything to be done for my lower limbs? It has been scientifically proven that I'm not going to walk again, and that's final. So I said to myself, Islam, stop worrying about what you cannot influence and give it a blind eye, and let's focus on what you can influence, which is my upper torso. My mind is still functioning, or so I think. So since it's my responsibility, and since that I couldn't find a help in the bad rehab center I was in, I told myself that there must be millions over there in Europe and States in my case, and they are living a normal life. So I went to YouTube and Google tutorial videos, and I taught myself basic things like getting dressed, getting showered, moving around, how to go to the bathroom on my own, how to transfer from my wheelchair to the bed, how to drive, and how to get my wheelchair in the car. Also, I decided to leave the hospital, and I decided to resume my professional career in corporate again. And guess what? After 1 year, I got promoted. After proving that I can be a productive employee like any employee in our organization. And at that time, I was in the process of finishing my house, and I did not design it to be special for handicaps, because I decided to make it like any normal house, because I didn't want to live I didn't want to live a normal life like anybody. One day I went with a couple of friends to one of the most beautiful beaches here in Egypt called North Coast. It's very close to Alexandria, by the way. And all of a sudden, a friend of mine joked a not funny joke. Imagine Islam to the water. Ha ha ha. Again, with no bad intentions at all, but honestly speaking, it hit me, and I started to see it from a totally different perspective. I talked to myself, Islam, you've never tried to swim after the accident. So if you are pushed or slipped in the water, you're definitely going to drown. So I started to think about how am I going to face that challenge. So I decided to learn swimming, and I made a conscious decision to learn swimming and to face that challenge. So I joined one of the para swimming teams in Cairo. And honestly speaking, the idea of getting into the pool and into the water on my own was, for me, it was so scary. And I was like a kid. I was in fact a kid. I wouldn't let the coach go away from me, and he wouldn't let me go away from him. But one day, when my coach was looking the other way around, I jumped into the water on my own, and I felt I came with a massive, a great achievement for me, you know, because I faced a very challenging thing that I was so scared from this to go on my own to the pool a few weeks before that. A few months later, I've convinced my coach to have a plan and to get ready for the national competition. And guess what? Maybe after 15 months after the accident, I've achieved the first place and the gold medal in 2013. And I did it again in 2014. At that time, I decided to dream big and aim high. I decided to that I want to compete globally. I want to represent Egypt in international competitions. I want to go to the World Championships, to Paralympic Games. But sadly, here I faced an absolute nonsense challenge when I asked I want to join how to join the national team, the para swimming national team of Egypt. I got a very inspiring answers, like we have no budget for you to reinstate the national team. By the way, the national team at that time was inactive since 2002 till 2014. And they told me we cannot reinstate the national team for you because we have no budget, and we cannot dedicate a place for you to train because we are giving priority to normal swimmers who bring us medals. And they told me that your records are not good enough to qualify you for any international competitions. And when I asked them what are the qualifying records, they said, we don't know. That for me was bullshit. And I think by now you know me well. I was determined and I was willing to do whatever it takes, whatever it needs to compete globally and represent Egypt. So I escalated, and a few months later, I had a meeting with the Minister of Youth and Sports in 2014. And guess what? I've convinced him to reinstate the national team for Egypt, since it's my right. I'm the best in Egypt for 2 consecutive years. so it's my right to compete globally. And he did it for me. So honestly speaking, I was over the moon. It was like a mixed feelings. I was over the moon. I was so happy with that, but also I was a little bit worried because, you know, it's getting bigger, and now I'm backed up with the government, with the minister himself. So I don't want to let them down. I don't want to either let myself down or to let my my family down. Also, I don't want to. I want to prove myself to all doubters out there who said that you cannot compete globally and you cannot represent Egypt in international competition. So I put my heart and my mind into it, and I started to train like a beast, day in, day out. And maybe a few months later, and that was in March 2015, I went to Madrid, and guess what? I've achieved a couple of bronze medals in my very first international competition. And here I realized that it's not about only me, it's not about Islam, but my impact and the influence has reached the whole nation, the whole country, Egypt, because we are currently a team of 8 para swimmers, and maybe God give me this chance to be the reason why other Egyptians who are maybe are not privileged or fortunate enough to get in contact with the minister or someone with the authority to reinstate the national team of Egypt. And I started to train harder, and I had a very aggressive plan with my coach, and I was getting ready for the World Championship in Glasgow in the UK in 2015. And also I was dreaming to compete in the Paralympic Games in Rio, in Brazil in 2016. But sadly, I think by now you know me well, I am a challenges magnet. Challenges are chasing me every day, every time. But now it's totally different challenge. Sadly, my shoulders got injured, and I've been advised by doctors to stay away from the pool or doing any physical exercises. So I think by now you know me well as well. I didn't stop there. I started to rediscover myself, to rediscover the world. I became active, very active socially. And I started to do some adventures. And I've traveled the world. I went to States, I went to Europe. And one day I've received a call from the US Embassy here in Egypt. They said, Islam, we've heard about your achievements and the impact that you've done in the swimming. Also, your successful professional career in HR and private sector and corporates in Egypt. So we'd love to have you as a participant in one of the biggest disability programs in the US. And I became Egypt's ambassador. We were almost 21 participants from all over the world. The main objective of this program that sharing experience, knowledge with people from all over the world, people with disabilities, and getting in contact with disability advocates in the States and disability NGOs, foundations, and so on, to share the experience, to share the knowledge, to share the challenges, solutions, in order to transfer all this experience to our countries when we are back. And here, where I met my dear friend Oleg, I think in this photo, you can see Oleg on the left, and Artyom as well. Not sure if all of you know Artyom or not. And that was in the State Department of the US. It was amazing experience. Actually, I had the pleasure to meet the biggest disability advocates and NGOs. It had a great impact on me. And after the program, the program was almost 3 weeks. And after the program, I extended for a couple of weeks to explore the states and to enjoy the true inclusion and accessibility they have over there. So for me, public transportation was totally wheelchair friendly. Even the beach, they have a wheelchair, a beach wheelchair for people. In my case, I had the honor to visit the Pentagon, and I went to DC, Maryland, Baltimore, Chicago, San Francisco, Orlando, Vermont, Texas, LA, and I went to Universal Studios, I went to Disney, Hollywood, and I did the craziest adventure ever. And hold a second to share this video with you. Come on.
Sorry, Islam, the videos do not work through the internet. Maybe you can try pressing control while pressing the video link, but most of the time they don't work through the PowerPoint. But if you press the link with the control button, it sometimes works.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the link from Facebook.
But you'll be losing time. You're running short of time, Islam.
Okay, let's skip.
S10, bang, S10.
Okay, it's working now.
Superman shirt, well dressed.
Do you see the video?
No.
We have the PowerPoint presentation on.
You can show our another screen, not PowerPoint. We can hear this but not see.
Okay. I close the video. Yes, I'm going to consume much time in this. So back to my presentation. I did the craziest adventure ever. Skydiving. Do you see the slides?
Yes, slides, yes.
Okay. So I did the craziest adventure ever, skydiving in Los Angeles.
Islam, I don't see your slides.
You don't see it?
Okay.
You got me. A few weeks later, I've received a call from the British Council, and they said that they want me to represent Egypt in one of the biggest festivals for arts in the UK, in London. And I had a great experience over there. I saw people with different abilities, and they were doing different kind of arts. Like I saw a stand-up comedian in a wheelchair. I saw a guitarist, a blind guitarist. I saw a deaf oil painters, and so on and so forth. And after the festival, I extended for a few days more to explore the UK, and I visited one of the biggest wheelchair factories in not only in the UK but also in the Europe. It was amazing experience to get more info about the process, the production process of the wheelchair, because it's not one size fits all product. It's a tailor-made and customized product. based on
sorry, Islam. Sorry, you get 2 minutes more. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And also, I've enjoyed the accessibility over there in the UK. And when I came back, I went to a great adventure diving in Egypt. Also, I've arranged for the first time ever in Egypt a run for people with different abilities, and we ran hand in hand with abled bodies. When I was in the States, I saw people doing CrossFit, so I joined them. And when I came back to Cairo, I resumed the CrossFit training. And then I decided to make something with a big impact. So I've organized, I've talked to the organizers of the biggest CrossFit competitions here in Egypt. And I included people with different abilities to compete in CrossFit for the first time in Egypt.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm very obsessed with the sports, I decided to do Ironman. And here in Egypt, they told me that you are not up to this challenge and you cannot do it. So I went all the way to Portugal, to Cascais, and I swam for 2 kilometers, and my partners did the rest of the race. But I fell in love with the experience, and I decided to do the full race on my own with just a couple of arms. So I went to Bahrain and I competed there. And I had the pleasure and honor to be the first Egyptian and Arab para-athlete who finished Ironman, and I got awarded by the Prince of Bahrain himself. Back to my favorite sport, swimming, and I got qualified to the World Championship. And at that time, I took a very risky decision. I quit my job, and I decided to chase my dream, and to follow my passion, which is swimming. And I went all the way to Mexico to compete in the World Championship. And guess what? I've achieved the 5th place, alhamdulillah. And I've achieved in the British competition the 1st place. And this is the biggest achievement I've ever done, to achieve the 1st place at any international competitions. A couple of years ago, I had the pleasure and honor to be awarded by the president himself as a recognition of all what I've achieved. So what's next for swimming? I'm dreaming to compete in the Paralympic Games, Tokyo 2020, and I was getting for this, but all competition got canceled because Corona. And for triathlon, I'm dreaming to compete in the World Championship in Kona in the States one day. Throughout my experience, I'm so happy and proud of every single achievement I've done. I've learned a lot. I've learned that when there is a will, there is a way. And because it's all in my head, I've learned that what doesn't kill you makes you way stronger. Life is all about choices, and I chose to make an impact and paradigm shift, to make the impossible possible, to have a beautiful and successful life. Every one of us has his own challenges, his own limitations. So I invite everyone here to embrace his wheelchair, to embrace his challenges, get the best out of it, live with it. It doesn't matter what happens to you. What matters the most is what you're going to do about it and how you're going to deal with it. I do believe that challenges are blessings, because sometimes you need to sharpen your edges, to stretch your capacity, to maximize your potential. Maybe it's an opportunity to learn and to grow. I'm done. Thank you very much. If you guys have questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Eslam. Yeah, thank you very much. The one thing I missed in your presentation, how do you look like?
Oh, sorry for that.
Please describe how you do, or how you look like.
I'm using photos, visuals mainly, about the journey the car accident.
He needs you to describe yourself.
Okay.
Like for blind people, yeah.
Okay.
Describe, please, your face, your clothes, your smile, and for blind people.
Okay. I'm using a wheelchair. It's a chair with some wheels. I'm bald with green eyes, and I'm beard. I have a smiley face. I always smile, no matter what. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
He is very charismatic.
Okay.
Thank you, Colette. It means a lot to come from you, dear.
He's actually handsome and with a slim face, a light beard, and a mustache, a little bit bald, but he has wide eyes that are always shining with a smile, and a big wide smile showing all his teeth. So actually he's very inspiring. He has a very inspiring smile.
I have a question. I have a question for Islam.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Islam, what's the level of religion?
What's what?
What's the level of your religion?
The level of what?
Your lesion. You have a lesion about your spinal cord, no?
Yeah, the level of injury.
What's the level?
The level of injury?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm paralyzed, chest down. T7,
yes, but it's sometimes D11, D10, I don't know.
D7 and 8.
D7, it's okay, it's D7. And did you try Andy ski?
Sorry?
Did you ever try Andy ski?
No.
I think that you have to try. You have the perfect physique to go skis and be very good skiers. Especially the swimming guy. They are very good skiers, you know.
Okay, one day.
Let's try. If you are going to Europe or to America, to US, even to some country close to you, it's possible to find slopes. It will be good for you, I think.
Maybe one day, if Oleg invites me to one of his events in Russia.
We have to speak about ski, inclusive ski.
We can do this. Because you know, in Egypt, we have no or ice.
Okay, thank you very much, Islam. More questions for Islam? Now he will become the ski champion.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes.
One question. Were you able to help your friend who had paralysis, neck down, all the quadriplegic?
She's not quadriplegic, she's paraplegic. It's not a quadriplegic.
No, I'm not asking about Islam. I'm asking about, he said that he has a friend who is quadriplegic. So I asked him, was he able to help his friend or guide him to do something, a person who's paralyzed with both his hands and both his feet? So I'm asking him, were you able to help him in any way? Yeah. Being a motivator and inspiring person like you, and you have a friend with a major disability, a much bigger one than yours, were you able to help him? This is my question.
Okay, I got it. Thank you very much for your question. Basically, I've tried this to cheer him up, to show him like there is a way, and he should accept what happens to him, and he should get the best out of it. But the thing is that at the beginning, he was saying, okay, and he was doing nothing. And after a while, he started to be aggressive, and he started to try even to commit a suicide himself. So I felt that our relationship has been turned to a very toxic relationship. At that time, I was trying to move on, and I wasn't that strong enough, like who I am now. So I decided to leave and pray for him, because I've tried a lot with him, but his mindset, he has a very fixed mindset. He focusing only on what he lost, and he doesn't want to move on. So at that time, as I'm not experienced with this cases, as a quadriplegic cases, and also I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist to help him. All what I can do is I was trying to shift his mindset to look at the bright side, to be grateful for what he has, and look at what he takes for granted. But sadly, he doesn't want to see all of this. He see one thing, that he is quadriplegic and he must die. That this is from his point of view. This is why I left him.
Okay, thank you very much, Islam. Yeah, we have the time now for the next speaker. Thank you very much, and thank you. There was in chat that you got a very inspiring stories. Yeah. Okay, and the next speaker is the person who already raised a lot of questions. Yeah, this is Patrick. Yeah. Sure. I think he is on the way to your school already.
No, he's here. I saw him on the screen. I think he didn't understand.
Sorry?
And
I cannot hear you.
Who is speak? Asma?
Yeah, Asma is asking Islam to come to school. Islam, do you hear us?
Yeah, now I hear you.
His sound is not good, yeah.
I can hear you.
Maybe he doesn't hear Asma like
he can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mr. Oleg, Islam is hearing you. He's responding.
So Asma is inviting you to her school to Alexandria to make the motivation speech for the children.
Yeah, we can definitely arrange something.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Asma. One of the good ideas of our School of Inclusive Volunteer is social networking. It's good if after this school, after these webinars, we will create common projects, local one, international one, doesn't matter. But it's a good idea to meet such people like Islam, like Patrick, like Asma, like Dr. Swat, and to think what could be the best our projects together. Yeah. Thank you, Islam. Thank you, Asma, for networking. For the workshop, short workshop, how to do the quick networking. And we are going to Belgium. It's a country in Europe. And the Patrick Modave I'm now start to speak more slowly, yeah. And we have to be polite to our interpreters. And Patrick Modave, the person who works with the people with disability in real inclusion. He understands what is real inclusion. It means that inclusion that impacts good on every person, on person with disabilities, without disabilities. And Patrick will share with one of his projects and his one of a lot of his projects. Voila.
Thank you, merci. Okay, I'm Patrick Modave from Belgium. I am 64.
Sorry, Patrick, please, if you
speak slowly.
Speak slowly, and I will tell you when it will be 20 minutes because we ran out of time a little bit, and we need time for feedback. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
okay. I'm Patrick Modave from Belgium. I'm 64. I've got blue eyes. I have brown hair. I like to dress with a lot of colors. I like to put a lot of colors, and I like to love. And I also have a lot of experience about handicapped people and inclusive camp. I'm a sport leisure and leisure for handicapped people consultant, social entrepreneur, and I'm also the Belgian representative for Armenian Camp. Armenian Camp, with it, an Armenian NGO, which is working also in inclusive activities. I've been organizing inclusive activities and camp for more than 40 years. I've also been collaborating with Armenian NGO for more than 30 years about the same topics, inclusive camp and inclusive activities. Just sorry, Oleg, I have to wait for translation or not?
No, you're
I'm free.
Yeah.
I have to, okay. I have also been collaborating with Armenian NGOs for more than 30 years about the same topics. In 2014 and in 2015, we organized 2 inclusive exchange of young Erasmus Plus camps between one Armenian NGO, Armenian camp, and one Belgian NGO. Name was Embarquement Immédiat. I will present the first project it means in 2014. I will present the methodology of this project, the result, and the Erasmus Plus opportunity. About the project. The project was 2 days in August in the Armenian camp campsite in Altajic in the region of the Seven Lake. About the team. We had one team from Belgium, 10 people with mental handicap disability, 4 Down syndrome, from 17 to 28 years old. As volunteers, I was one of the volunteers. My son was with me. He got 14 years old, and one educator who was my girlfriend at that time. About the Armenian camp team. 8 people with mental handicap and 2 with physical handicap from 17 to 28 years old. And in the team, about the volunteers, of the Armenian NGO, 3 volunteers, plus the director of the NGO, Samvel Rostomian, and his assistant Vartui. We decided about the program, and the program was sports and nautic sports, sailing, kayaking, and swimming. Cultural visits, like church, monasteries, there are a lot of nice monasteries in Armenia, and city like Yerevan. We did also hiking, horse riding, fishing in the lake, cooking day, a lot of parties, especially dancing parties, probably every day, and language learning, leaders and team meetings. It was very important because each day we had the meetings with the leaders, because we had 2 leaders, I mean, one from the Armenian NGO and one from the Belgium NGO, but also the team meetings. It was meeting with everybody to decide everything together. About the methodology of this camp and its schedule. It began in August 2013 during the Armenian Inclusive Summer Camp in Seven Lake. And during this first meeting, we decided together with Samvel Rostomian to organize a project with about exchange of young mentally handicapped people, inclusive camp together. So we defined the project, the goal of the project, the objectives, but objectives also according to Erasmus Plus reglementation. I will explain a little bit more about the reglementation system. Reglementation and rules will be every time in my presentation. In September 2013, we make the constitution of the team, the two teams, and the first meeting. It meets one meeting with the Armenian team in Armenia and one meeting in Belgium with the Belgian team. We began also the registration of the project to the International Youth Office. International Youth Office is an office which is present in the 26 different countries of Europe and more other countries. And we registered also this project to Erasmus Plus program, because Erasmus Plus program is developed by this International Youth Office. From September to December, we made the redaction of the application form and the participation to the Erasmus Plus formation. It means that for this project, all the participants of the project, I mean the leader of the project, was obliged to participate to formation before the project and after the project. It's about the rules of Erasmus. From September to December, we make the redaction and the application form participation, and after, in February, the acceptance of the project and its funding, because it was really important that Erasmus Plus has a lot of money to make fundings for this kind of project, especially exchange of young. And also the meeting with the team, meeting in Belgium and one meeting in Armenia. From February to June, we organized a monthly meeting with the team. The same in Armenia and Belgium. And during this meeting, we defined the objectives, the schedule, and the logistic. It means that both teams, the people, the leader, participant, and the volunteers, decided together about the schedule, about the program, and also about the objectives of this camp. In June, I went to Armenia to prepare the meeting with Samuel Rostomian. It's possible, there is a special fund in this Erasmus project for a preparing team in the country who will normally lead the project, but in that case, it was in Armenia. And in August, it was the realization of the project. The 12 days, 2 days for the trip and 10 days on the website, on the campsite. And in September, evaluation meeting with the team, evaluation in Armenia and in Belgium, and exchange of evaluation between the two NGO. And it was also the evaluation and formation with the Erasmus Plus team project. It was all this methodology. It's very urgent methodology because it took more than 1 year, not to prepare the project, but about the administration, about the preparation, about the finalization of the objectives and the goal, because it's very important for Erasmus. I will explain a little bit later. About the objectives and goal. Our objective were to create an inclusive exchange of youngs to discover the difference between the Belgian and Armenian culture, kind of European and Armenian culture. And the goals was first to live together during 10 days, to practice sports and nautic sports together, to discover the Armenian culture, to exchange about language, day-to-day life, cooking, to exchange about the inclusion of handicapped people in both society, and also to learn together how to respect nature and environment. It was also one important goal of the camp, because the action and the day-to-day life in considering the nature and environment is not the same in Eastern and Western countries. It was successful for all. And we wanted to organize another project in 2015. All the meetings were very important, because during this meeting, everybody was included in all the decisions about the construction of this inclusive camp, even about financial participation and financial support. About the evaluation, we found that we needed to have more information about the disability of the participant, especially about comportment or physical disorder, especially epilepsy, because it was very important to know everything about each participant and each comportment and disorder. The schedule must be more flexible and adapted to the Armenian way of life. It means that at the beginning we wrote a very strict schedule. We are going to do at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Okay, the first day it was, okay, that we begin at 11 o'clock. Okay, we start to change everything, but it's normal. We have to adapt everything because it was impossible to respect the schedule which is not adapted to Armenian way of life. And it's very important to know this now, because I will speak about this later. The fact also that we didn't receive all the subvention before the camp was difficult to manage. Normally you receive about 80% before the camp and 20% after the camp. That is not so easy, because it's not so easy about financial report, about accountants with both of the NGO. The rules of Erasmus Plus project are difficult to respect, mostly by the Armenian NGO, and it's normal. One very important thing, very important, that in this project, and it's the same in all exchange of young projects, inclusive or not, each participant received an European passport with the acquired competencies during the camp. And these competencies were communication is the mother tongue. It was very important to communicate this in all languages and not to be afraid to speak. Communication in foreign language. We learned some word in Armenian, we exchanged some word, in the beginning it was normally curses, language curses, but we changed. It was just joke and just to play. Also, one competencies is with sense of initiative and entrepreneurship. It means that each participant could organize an activity, prepare an activity, explain this activity or a game or a sport to all the participants. Intercultural competencies too, to speak about your culture, to understand the other culture, to learn about culture, and to exchange about these two cultures. But also interpersonal and social competencies. To live together during 10 days, we have to have a very good competence about intersocial relationship. About Erasmus. Concerning exchange of youngs, there is an office in each of the 26 European countries. It means that each NGOs belonging to one of these 26 European countries can be the leader of one exchange of youth project. An Egyptian NGO can be the partner of one European NGO, which will be the leader. It means that it's possible to organize exchange of youth with Egyptian NGO with one of the 26 European countries and other countries, for example, than Norway. An example, Norway can lead an exclusive exchange of youth camp with Egypt. There is a lot of funds for this kind of project. There is a lot of money in Europe, but the rules and administration are strict. It is better to ask the help of an Erasmus Plus consultant to write the project. I didn't ask the help of the consultant the first year. It was just because we received some marks from the project. It was very just. And the second year, I asked for a consultant. It was easier for me to write the project and to prepare everything. About the feedbacks, my feedbacks. About the project first. When you organize an inclusive camp between two groups coming from different culture, the problem is not a social problem. It's not a relationship problem. There is a real motivation to be and to share together anyway. But the problem is about administration and the institution which gives the subvention. For example, here, the International Youth Office. The respect of rules, the inflexibility of the reglement, it's like sometimes an administrative wall. This strictness and severity of Erasmus Plus project are two major obstacles, especially for Eastern countries and NGOs. But it's not impossible. But we have to know that there is a big wall to climb. Because there is a general methodology. You have a general methodology, but this methodology needs to be adapted according to the countries and this culture. And it's not the fact now in this European project. About the team, an inclusive team is a system with all the elements interconnected and interdependent. To lead this group, it needs a leader, but not a chief. Anyway, with inclusion, we need leader and not chief. About extra abilities, because I wanted to share a little bit about extra abilities because it's very important for me. I was soon aware of the physical and visual disabled people abilities, and I'm still learning. I am still learning about these extra abilities. About the mental handicapped people, it took a longer time. In general, there are open mind and open heart, with a natural and spontaneous, sometimes different, sense of communication. They get an extra empathy, an extra resilience, for example, in love affair. But they have also an extra ability with music, dance, and art. Slowly, with experience and practice, I also developed an extra ability with them. To make them grow and to lead them to use all their potential. I also opened my mind and my heart. I freed my intuition and I got a kind of sixth sense. Together we did, and we are still doing inclusion in all the parts of the life. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hello?
Patrick.
Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. It's really a very structured and a very interesting presentation about you and your people with mental variations.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions for Patrick? Any questions to Patrick? Okay. You can we can share with the contacts of all of our we can share with you we will share with you with all contacts of our speakers, and you can straight answer questions from from our speakers. Ask questions, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so today's webinar is going to the end, and I'm really appreciate all of you attended it. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for all the organizers, for the speakers, for Patrick, for Islam, for our brave interpreters, Joeling and Asma and Claire, who interprets for the people, for the deaf people. Yeah, thank you very much for all of you. We will meet on Wednesday at the same time, 7 p.m., and we will continue, 7 p.m. Egyptian time, and we will continue with speaking about the fundraising, searching for resources. We will speak, and also we will speak about how to organize information in the social media of your volunteer projects. There will be 3 very interesting speakers. First is Colette French, Alexandria Rotarian, yeah, and also it will be very nice, interesting lady. She is deaf blind. She's deaf blind She's from Buryatia Republic, it's Far East, and she will speak about her activities in tourist area. And also it will be Dmitry Cheshev, the wheelchair guy from Siberia. He got a very interesting presentation, how he promotes his volunteer and other social inclusive activities in Facebook and other social media. Okay, please send your contacts to the registration form on Google form. It is on the website of White Cane organization. The address is extrability.org. Also, you can find all the information in our group on Facebook, the School of Inclusive Volunteering in Egypt. Yeah, all of the attendees will get the certificates, and also we will share with you the regulation about the competition and manuals, materials of these webinars. Yeah. Congratulations with the first webinar to all of us. And Ivan, are you ready to show the map?
Yes, I'm ready to show our map. Get participants from today to our map. Just a moment, please.
While Ivan is presenting the map, I would like to ask you to say some words in the feedback, like a feedback. Sorry. About today's webinar, what is good, what did you learn, what could be improved in the next webinars, what do you want to know?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
We tried two modes of translation. Which one you prefer, and these, so that what can we adopt next time, next meeting, next webinar? We had the concomitant, following just the speaker and then translation, and then at the same time we tried the concomitant translation, silencing the speaker and the translator is taking the upper hand. So what did you prefer as the attendees, so that we can go ahead with the best?
We have to ask attendees, I think, what is better, the first part or the second part? What could be the best way for translation?
I think the first part, like phrase by phrase.
No.
First part, okay. What are the other opinions, of attendees?
Currently with 28, how many people?
Oleg, about my opinion, perhaps. I didn't know that my presentation was translated in Arabic.
Okay.
I didn't know. But I also tried, because somebody asked me to speak slowly, but I didn't check.
For me, I prefer somebody translate in Arabic, and then it will be easy and quick for me to translate to sign language. Because when I translate from English to Arabic in my mind and then sign language, that's sometimes hard.
So you prefer
and Claire, please tell what type of translation, the first part or the second part was better for you?
The first part was okay with me, yeah. Second part, no translation. It wasn't
the first part.
Wasn't no translation. Second part. It wasn't English.
I didn't get what was good. First part or second part?
First part is good.
First part, okay.
Yeah.
The two votes for the first part, yeah. Okay. Maybe somebody else will want to share about the translation, about the questions, suggestions, yeah. We try to build something better together. Any more feedback? Dear colleagues.
دكتورة سامية، حضرتك رأيك إيه؟
بالنسبة معلش أنا كنت بس معايا ميتنج تاني في جامعة الكوفة، بس قولي لي كده ملخص على الدار ولا في البرنامج كله.
Excuse me, which translation you preferred? The translation, يعني sentence by sentence, you're hearing both? Yes, of course, Arabic, but sentence by sentence, or we silence the speaker, the English speaker, and you hear only the translation. Which part? Because we want to decide for the upcoming.
Abstract about this program.
The first part or the second part you prefer in the translation? Concomitant?
Before.
The first part? Okay. And then I think, okay. Thank you, Dr. Shah.
I prefer the second part, definitely.
Okay. It's very good. It's very good that we have different views on
but
this.
Maybe Claire is the most important person.
We could make a poll on Facebook or a vote to know the accurate percentage for the first part or the second part.
Yes, we have to vote.
Let's make the vote.
Time we don't waste time and we go ahead. First part or second part?
Yeah, the good is the first part.
We will do on our Facebook page, I will send to our Facebook page, and we will do voting there.
And Dr. Saad, please collect collect the votes from the Arabic-speaking people. What could be the best way? The first part, word by word, or the second part, simultaneous translation?
Yes, simultaneously or
simultaneously. Yeah. For us, both are good. The first part is a little bit slower, but it's a very good training for presenters. To be short, clear.
That they're slow.
Yeah, sure.
To make sure that they're slow. But it was a great webinar. Thank you for sharing all your experiences. It was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all, really. It was amazing.
Thank you very much. Maybe any more feedback? Okay, waiting for the new meeting with you, dear colleagues and friends. So next this Wednesday, 15th of July at 7 p.m. Here on the Zoom. Yeah. Have a good evening. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Oleg, very much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you for the group.
Thank you for participating.
Islam. Thank you all, guys. Thank you very much. Speakers and Anna and Ivan, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, all.
Thank you, Dr. Saad.
Thank you, Saad.
Thank you, Oleg. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
It was amazing. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.